What if I told you there's a single number that could completely change how you run your business? A number that looks way beyond just a single sale and shows you what your customers are really worth over the long haul. Well, today we are breaking down exactly that: customer lifetime value.
So let me ask you this. Are you focusing on the right customers? It's a huge question, right? Most businesses are in this constant race to get more and more new customers, thinking that all customers are basically the same. But the thing is, that's just not true. A tiny handful of your customers probably brings in most of your profit over time.
So how do you find those golden customers? How do you spot them in the crowd? Well, that's where a metric called customer lifetime value, or just CLV, comes in. Think of it like putting on a pair of glasses that lets you see your customer base with perfect clarity, and suddenly your most valuable players just pop.
So what is it, really? At its heart, CLV is all about prediction. It's the total amount of money a business expects to get from an average customer over the entire time they're a customer. It's a big shift from just looking at what they bought in the past to what they're likely to be worth in the future.
Look, of course, every customer is important, but let's be real. Some are just, well, they're more valuable in the long run. Figuring out who those people are is the absolute key to making smarter choices about where you should be putting your energy and your cash to keep them happy and loyal.
Now, this might sound super complicated, right? Like you need a team of data scientists to figure it out, but honestly, the basic formula is surprisingly simple. We can break it all down into a really straightforward 5-step process.
Okay, here's our roadmap. We're going to figure out how much customers spend on average, how often they come back to buy, and how long they stick around. Let's make this concrete and walk through an example.
To make this super clear, let's just pretend we own a small local shoe store. It's a simple business, which is perfect for seeing how all these numbers actually work in the real world.
All right, for our little shoe store, let's start with step 1, the average purchase value. We look at the books, and it turns out, on average, a customer spends $50 every time they come in. Simple enough.
Next up, step 2, purchase frequency. How often do people come back? Well, our data shows they buy new shoes about 4 times a year. Maybe once a season.
And the last piece of the puzzle is the average customer lifespan. For our store, we find that we typically keep a customer for about 2 years. So we've got our 3 magic numbers: $50, 4 times a year, for 2 years. Now we just put it all together. $50 a pop times 4 purchases a year over a 2-year relationship. That gives us $400. Now hold on, because this part is really important. That $400 is the customer's lifetime revenue. We are not done yet.
Because revenue is not the same as profit, right? We have costs. We have to buy the shoes, pay rent, pay our employees. So let's say after all of that, our profit margin is about 20%. This is the last and most critical step to finding the true value.
So we take that $400 in revenue, we multiply it by our 20% profit margin, and we get $80. That is your true customer lifetime value. That's the actual cash, the profit, you can expect from an average customer. And that is the number that should be guiding your every move. So, $80. Why is that little number such a huge deal? Because knowing your CLV fundamentally changes your entire strategy. It shifts your whole mindset away from just making one-off sales to building long-term, profitable relationships.
Seriously, it's like night and day. Without CLV, you're just scrambling for any new customer you can get. But with CLV, you get smart. For our shoe store, we now know we can spend up to $80 to get a new customer and still break even. Spend anything less than that and we're making pure profit. It's a game changer for how we think about everything from marketing to customer service.
And this one insight just ripples out across your entire business. It tells you exactly how much you can spend on ads. It shows you the real dollar value of keeping customers happy. It helps you figure out who your real VIPs are so you can treat them like gold. Ultimately, CLV is what drives sustainable and, maybe most importantly, profitable growth.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Understanding CLV isn't just some boring accounting exercise. It's a real, practical tool that helps you make better, smarter decisions day in and day out.
So, if you only take away 3 things, let it be these. First, CLV is all about predicted profit, not revenue. That's key. Second, it switches your brain from get more customers to keep the best customers. And third, it's basically your North Star for investing your time and money wisely.
So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. Now that you've got the tools, what is the true value of your customers?
because figuring that out is the very first step toward building a much smarter and much more successful business.